2 and 1. But speak thou the things which become it sound doctrine, that the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior, as become it holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Chaste conversations.
All praises. Welcome back to Chaste Conversations. Y'all, I am Sister Nasia. Shalom, beautifuls. Sister Deborah. Sister Dana.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
Sister Yishrai.
Shalom.
Chaya. Yakodesh. Shalom, beautiful.
Shalom.
All praises to the Most High. We wanted to discuss and talk a little bit about fasting tonight in our discussion, right? And so we're gonna go straight into it and cut out all the fat real quick. So we know what do you think of? What's another word, anybody, that you think of when you think of fasting? Like, what does fasting mean to you in one word? Or
Denying oneself.
I had that right on the paper. Con. Denying yourself. All praise.
Cleansing.
What was that, sis?
Cleansing.
Cleansing. Con. Y'all reading my notes. That ain't fair. So a cleansing is what I had down. Sister Dana, you had something?
A sacrifice.
Con. Yes. All right. So you're giving up something. It's a cleansing, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into Psalms 35 and 13. All right. This is going to be hopefully short and sweet, but edifying. A lot of meat on this bone. 35 and 13. Because I love everything y'all said.
Okay, you want me to read?
Fine, please.
Okay. Psalm 35 and 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting and prayer, returned into mine own bosom.
Fine, and we know this is David speaking, right? Fine. So fasting is also, like here it says, it's a humbling experience. You humble yourself. You got to bring yourself to a certain level, right? It's humbling. And that's like he says, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled myself, my soul with fasting. And let me back up real quick. Fasting in the Hebrew is, in the concordance, is H6684. All right, or 6685. And that means to fast is som, if I'm saying it right. Or to som, some people might pronounce it as, just literally to cover the mouth. Okay, so you're not putting anything in there. All right, let's go to Psalms 69 and 10. 69 and 10.
Can I say something about soul? As we're talking about fasting, the scripture came to mind that says, like, every soul is mine. As the soul of the Father, the soul of the Son is mine, the soul that sinned, it shall die. But anyway, that came to mind because we're talking about fasting, and that scripture we just read is talking about mention the soul. So I mean, it just made it a little more personal because that soul belongs to, we belong to Yah.
Fine.
And that's what it kind of made me think about on a personal level.
That's right. That's right. All praises. Khan. That was, yeah. That was deep, you know, because like we're gonna get into it, but it's like fasting is not a surface level thing at all, you know. You're denying the flesh, right? But like the sister said, and we also read, it's ultimately your soul that you're cleansing, right? That you're humbling, right? That you're sacrificing to the Most High, right? And Psalm 69:10, it says, when I...
Go ahead.
You got it, sis. I ain't stepping on your toes. You the reader.
Okay. When I wept and I chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach.
To my reproach. So these was two of the words that had stand up besides what you guys had said with cleansing and sacrifice and just denying yourself, right? Was the humbling and the chastening, chastening, right? Shalom, Sister Eliana. She on her break. I'm so glad she could make it tonight. Shalom, sis. Again in Psalm 69:10, when I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach. So there that soul go again. Okay. There that soul go again. So we know that you have to humble yourself and confess first with your mouth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, everything you confess with your mouth. And y'all walk with me if you would. Confessing with your mouth first. You have to bring it out, okay? And then you could follow through with the steps that's needed. But you first have to admit it verbally. Shalom says, right? Okay, so there's a few ways to fast because some people might tell you this, some people might tell you that, but based off of this book, right? There are a couple ways you could do that. You could do no food at all, right? At all. That means no water either. Okay. And we know this from, let's go to Exodus, Sister Yeshaya or Sister Deborah. I think this is Exodus 34. Just so we could, Exodus 34, verse 27 and 28.
And the Lord said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words, I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments.
Fine. All right. And we could also precept that with Deuteronomy. I'll just bring it out. Deuteronomy 9:9. Okay. 2 witnesses where it says, and this is also Moses. So we're just precepting. When I was gone, this is Deuteronomy 9:9. When I was gone up onto the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Most High made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. Okay. And so that's one way. I'm sure there's a few others in the book that we could reference that went and fast with nothing at all in their mouth, including water. But this is one of the examples that I had here, okay, of a way you could fast. What's that, sis? Shalom.
Shalom.
How are you? What you got, 15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, okay. I'm so happy to see your face though.
Oh, same.
Yes. Well, let me see how much you could get, but I know you'll listen to the video if you can't stay to listen to the playback. Yeah.
Yes.
Good
Yes.
to see you, sis.
Same.
So that's one way you can fast. Another way is Daniel 10:3. Y'all heard of the Daniel fast, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to Daniel's 10:3, Sister Deborah.
Okay. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth. Neither did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
Okay, and so I brought that one out because there, it didn't necessarily say that he didn't have anything, but what he denied himself of, which was one of the words we said, is what we do when we're fasting, right? Was that he denied himself pleasant things, this pleasant bread, no flesh. You know, we like them steaks, them T-bones, you know, some of y'all still eat shrimp.
Ooh, not me.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Okay. So,
No.
you know, neither came wine, nor, not even wine. Not even wine. Okay. Until 3 weeks were fulfilled. All right. How many of us can really do that? Okay. But we're going to dive in some more. So that's a couple of ways. All right. Let's say the book that we could go ahead and fast. Anybody had anything else? Any other precepts? Or any other ways that I missed? Huh?
I have a comment.
Okay.
In Daniel 9, it says also, neither did I anoint myself.
Daniel
10:3.
I ain't no present. Right. Anoint myself at all. And what you think, what you think that means? You say you had a question?
A comment.
Okay, so what does that mean to you when it says
not just food for him? His fast included denying himself whatever he called anointed.
neither did I anoint myself? So when you anointing yourself, what do you? My page just went away. Hold on a second. All right, 10:3. So anoint. All right. So you know when it says to anoint your head with oil, right? And we do that typically before, so we wash our face and anoint your head with the oil, right? Or to put it over you. It's the Hebrew word suk. So he didn't do that at all. He didn't do that at all because he was in a mourning state. He was in a mourning state. So he denied himself all of that. Okay. That was deep for him. Right? What we then gonna go into is we all cannot take the same, we all can't do the same fast. For what might work for you might not work. In other words, I might have to go and drink water for my fast. You might be able to do without water. You know what I'm saying? But in any event, you want to build yourself up for that. Build your spirit up for that. Okay. Don't just hop. Oh, tomorrow I'm just gonna wake up and go into a fast, and then you find yourself rolling down the street, can't even, think straight, and you just typing in the wrong, things at work, whatever it is. You're passing out, you can't feed your family, your kids. You don't want to just do that, right? So prepare your body first and foremost, and fast as your body can tolerate. Okay.
All right.
But this is why we don't just go into things just willy-nilly. First of all, you got to take it to the Most High in prayer, right? Otherwise, we just fasting like my husband likes to say, What are you fasting for? What's the purpose of it? Two, you know, did you take it to the Most High in prayer? And are you doing it the right way? Because you want him to see it. Otherwise, you're just losing 1 pound that day.
A diet.
You know? You know what I'm saying? So as much as your body could tolerate is what you're gonna do. Now we know we do from most of us, we every year we do our atonement, right? And most people, they fast for the whole 24 hours. Some, yes, if you have to take medications, drink your water on it, but we're not getting into that part, right? But Moses fasted for 40 days and nights. Okay. The men of Israel fasted for 7 days straight. Okay. And some of us do weekly fast. Now we're going to get into the benefits of what fasting will do for your body weekly. Okay. And before we do that, there are many reasons to fast, y'all. When I tell you the benefits, okay, of fasting, okay, and please testify if you can. But like she said, denying yourself, but you want to get closer to God, okay, right? So let's go to Luke chapter 2. Luke chapter 2, verse 36 and 37. Okay.
And she was a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers day and night.
Right. And so if you read up above that, we're talking about Anna. She was a prophetess and the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of great age. She was an older lady and lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. So in other words, her husband had died within that 7 years before her. So she was probably around 50 years old. It'll tell you here if you add it up. Okay, she was 4 years old, right? So
84.
84. Sorry. Okay, so she departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers day and night. Okay, so she was denying herself something. This was for her, because remember the precept that we always read, right? That the woman that is unmarried or the virgin caters to the things of the Father, right? And how she can please the Father, right? Okay, so now she's a widow, unmarried, okay? And this is how she's showing her gratitude and her actions, denying herself and keeping closer to God. It's kind of like what we would call nuns today. Okay. They deny themselves the pleasures so they can seek his face first and foremost. You can get closer to God doing this. Okay. We do this for seeking guidance. We've seen our foreparents do this for seeking guidance as well. Let's go to Judges chapter 20. Like I said, if anybody has any precepts or anything, please. Judges chapter 20, Sister Yeshaya, if you there. I think that's verse 28.
When you fasten as well in Matthew 6, it also speaks about how you're not supposed to look like you're fasting. You're not supposed to make it seem like it's a burden, You're supposed to, technically speaking, it's supposed to be kind of like a quiet thing, something between you and the Most High.
Right. Exactly. And I was thinking about Shalom, Auntie Tavana.
Shalom.
How are you?
Shalom.
Yeah.
All praises. So yes, we're not supposed to disfigure our faces. You right? And out there like, yeah, man, I'm fasting. Man, I can't wait to get man. I've been doing it for 3 days. It's not for men to see. It's not for you to put on what you call them, blow horns and alert everybody,
Yes.
alert the masses.
Yes.
You know, you're right. You're right. Okay, this is between you and the Most High. Okay. So we was talking about seeking guidance as one of the reasons why we fast, but I'm not sure I wrote it down here correctly. It was Judges
26.
Okay.
Maybe 27.
Yes. 20. Yeah. Okay.
26 and 27. Okay.
Okay.
Judges 20, 26, and 27. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came up into the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until even and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the Ark of the Covenant of God was there in those days.
Okay, so just for the sake of this discussion, this conversation, yes, we're not going to read this whole chapter, but please go back and do your due diligence and learn your history, please. But in short, you know, they were getting defeated. We was getting defeated. Okay, and they was like, you know what, let me back up a little bit here. Let me go on opposite. Yeah, they had to go and back up. Okay, so they came up to the house of God and wept and sat there before the Most High and fasted that day until evening. Prepare yourself, humble yourself, like we said, one of our key words in the beginning, right? Right? Okay. Until evening. Okay, and then the children of Israel inquired of the Most High, right? So again, seeking guidance, actually seeking guidance. A lot of the times, you know, when you want to come to the Father because things are turmoil is going on around you, a lot of the times we have to get in a place where we could get the filth, kind of, just as a word I'm going to use, filth, you know, get the filth away. You know, a lot of people say go in your prayer closet. A lot of people say find your happy place, whether that's, you know, in a park, secluded somewhere, on the beach, wherever, you know, on your knees with your book in the you know, facing the east. Find it, right? But bring yourself down so that way you can really communicate with him. Take all the noise out, right? Okay. And seek his guidance so you can hear him. And again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but a lot of the things that we be doing to our bodies hinder us, or our lifestyles be hindering us from hearing the Most High.
That's true.
Okay, all praises. So we also fast for strengthening, protection, not just for ourselves, but for our households. Right? We know plenty of our foremothers that did that for their husbands, right? Who said that? Who said it? For our households. So, like in what's a good example? What's a good example of when we fasted for protection and strengthening for Israel? Who know? Come on, this is a quiz. There's many instances. Come on.
I think, wasn't there one in Judith? I can't remember. She fasted, I believe, but I think she also told the people to fast because they was trying to cut off the water, or they were trying to infiltrate and take them over.
Did she
4 and 16.
Okay. Oh, is it? Say that again, Sister Ishaya.
In Esther 4 and 16.
Okay, but so that's the one I was looking for, but that's a different one because Rakan, Sister Tavana said in Esther, that's the one I was looking for. Esther 4 and 16. But I think the one Sister Chaya was talking about was in Judges when we went. I don't want to say it wrong. But when
I wish I couldn't look it up, so I was like, wait, I think Judith did do something, and so if someone else could find it, at least let me know if I'm incorrect or not. But I think she fasted as well, but I could be wrong.
So we were just reading in Judges for their fast.
Yep.
There was a fast in Ezra. Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Ezra chapter 8.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, yep. Chapter 8. So let's pull out that one in Esther we were just referencing real quick before we go to Ezra. All praises, sis. So in Esther chapter 4, verse 16.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, Sister Deborah.
Okay. Here it is. What is it? Go gather, Esther 4, chapter 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye from me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go into the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
If I perish, I perish. Go together, go and gather all the Jews that are present and fast for me, and and neither eat nor drink for 3 days. 3. All right. And again, please go back and read this book or this couple of chapters of Esther so you could get the juicy stuff, okay? Yes, but listen, I love learning about our history, okay? Because we think this is just a book at the end of the day, right? But there's a reason why they didn't want us to read this stuff, okay? Because they didn't want us to find out our heritage, how we're supposed to be walking. This ain't just this is where they get these movies from. But it's a different topic. So yes, if we read this story, you will understand that they were doing this. She told them to do this because there was a decree out in that land to kill off our people, right? And this is what she was saying that we need to do, because now she's the queen, right? Right. The queen doing her due diligence for Israel, not just for herself, but for Israel, to help Israel. And that ended up happening in the end. Okay. Like it just pulls us together, right? And this is why a lot of us do fast together. Hey, we're gonna fast next week, Tuesday. We're gonna come together just to fast for, strengthening of our sisterhood, strengthening of the brothers on the street, protection for the brothers on the street, whatever it may be, right? Okay. Because where there's 2 or more gathered, what?
He's in the midst.
Fine. Okay.
And it also speaks about him fasting in, I think, chapter 10 as well.
Right.
Yeah, 10:3.
Yeah, right. So we have brought that out earlier as one of the ways that we can fast for those that, think that they have to completely go without anything, right? You could do a water fast, or you could fast like people. You do it today. We just don't know to call it fasting, really. But we abstain from certain things, right? We abstain from certain things, whether it's meats, whatever it is, something that's making your cholesterol high, whatever it is, right? Okay. So Ezra, Sister Yeshua brought up Ezra chapter 8. If we can go there real quick, as another precept for fasting, for strengthening and protection for our households. Ezra chapter 8, verse 21 to 23.
Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river of Ahava, that we might afflict ourselves before our God, to seek of him a right way for us, and for our little ones, and for all our substance. For I was ashamed to require of the king a band of soldiers and a horseman to help us against the enemy in the way, because he had spoken unto the king, saying, the hand of our God is upon all of them for good that seek him. But his power and his wrath is against all of them that forsake him. So 23. So we fasted and besought our God for this, and he entreated of us.
Entreated of us. Okay. Again, for protection, right? And the strengthening. Okay. I think, Sister Chaya, let's go to, if you guys have your Apocrypha, Judith. I believe this is what I believe this is what
Judith what?
Judith chapter 8, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
To be sure.
Before we read that, can I bring out something?
Francis?
Because you were saying, you know, that people can fast together, right? And so I just want to make sure that when you, and I'm not saying you specific, just in general, when we're asking a group of people to fast, that they're in the same mindset as of us in righteousness, right? So it made me think about Tobit 12 and 8, just the first part, but it says, prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. You know, there's a little more to it, but it just made me think about that. So when you're asking several people to fast with you for something in particular, make sure they're not in sin, make sure they're not trespassing, and that they are walking in righteousness, those group of individuals.
The water says, what was that was Tobit what again?
12 and 8.
The water. Muy importante. We ain't got no Northern Kingdom in the building, do we? Say that better than I can. But very important. All praises is Judith chapter 8, verse 6, I believe is what Sister Chaya was referencing earlier. It says, and she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Sabbaths and the eves of the new moons and the feasts and solemn feasts of the house of Israel. Okay. So I believe that's what you were referencing earlier, Sister Chaya.
I think so, but I'm unable to verify, but I do remember hearing reading about fasting, and that was one thing I do remember reading.
Yeah, now that was something she did on her own. That was what she just did for herself, you know, like what we read in Luke, the prophetess Anna. This is what she did for herself. Again, her gratitude in action, you know, and just being closer to God. Okay. So because this was even before she went up to the elders. Okay. So all praises for that. You know, do you know that fasting, y'all, when you deny yourself these things, certain things in your life, you're just detoxing. You're detoxing, taking away the impurities, letting stuff fall off, like, you know, and please recognize it, because listen, like we referenced earlier, I said earlier, Judith 4:13. Okay. Someone brought up Judith 4:13. Let me see.
So that's where the word is mentioned, but I think at the beginning of it, it talks about like what was the reason for that. And so you start at the beginning and pretty much read all the way down. So 12 basically says,
oh, yes. You're right.
They cried to Yahweh. And so that was kind of where that started.
So that was my fault. The Judith 8 and 6, she did for herself, yes, but as far as what we were talking about with seeking protection for Israel or her household is more so in the Judith 4 and 13. And again, y'all please read the chapter. But Judith 4 and 13 specifically says, so God heard their prayers and looked upon their afflictions. For the people fasted many days in all Judea and Jerusalem before the sanctuary of the Most High Almighty. Khan. So let me just write that down real quick. All right. So, you know, a 24-hour fast, y'all. If you haven't fasted before, or if you have, okay, do you know that just a 24-hour fast every week, whether you're doing water alone, whether you're doing full-blown nothing for 24 hours, okay? Even if you're doing nuts and berries that day, do you know that it can reduce the risk of coronary artery, coronary artery disease, CAD? And for those of us who have a full understanding of the medical terminology, it's a buildup of plaque in your arteries. It's the blood flow. My sister on here, she in the medical field, she could tell y'all, okay? She's seen it live and direct, like inside the body, what stuff do to our body, okay? And so CAD, coronary artery disease, is a buildup of plaque limiting the blood flow, which can lead to a heart attack, okay? It's been proven.
And stroke.
And stroke. See, there she goes. This her arena, okay? This her arena in the medicals, because like that, and this is what I was saying, like just abstaining from some things, and you know, the doctors will tell you what they'll tell you first. If your cholesterol is high, if your blood pressure high, if your arteries clogging up, what's one of the first things they'll tell you to do? One of the first things.
Stop eating salt.
Diet.
Diet.
And it don't necessarily mean you got to stop eating all day or all week, right? To want to change your diet. But they'll tell you to cut back on certain things. Definitely cut back on the alcohols, right? That's denying yourself that stuff. And isn't that what we read that one of these prophets did here? He denied himself. Was it Daniel? No. Denied himself. It was Daniel. Denied himself wines and all these things, you know. But a 24-hour weekly fast will do that for you, will help to reduce that risk of getting a heart attack or a stroke, okay? It will reduce your risk of metabolic syndrome, because what it'll do is reduce the bad cholesterol. If you ever see on your blood work, the LDL. Oh, sister Ilana is in the healthcare field too. She, if you see your LDLs, that's your bad cholesterol. Okay, that number is high, I believe. That's when you have a problem there. Okay, and so this 24-hour fast weekly will help to increase the HDL, which is your good cholesterols. Okay, and once you reduce your bad cholesterol, that will reduce body fats. Okay, bad fats. It will reduce body fats. What cholesterol does is increases your risk again of strokes, heart attacks. Sometimes you'll be getting chest pains and dizziness, lower leg pains. Sometimes our body is telling us things. It's like a warning sign on your vehicle. And if you ignore the warning, if the warning sign is blinking, you got to pour some oil or pour some fluid, some coolant, do something, right? Change the battery, just switch the gas. And so with bad cholesterols, you could feel stuff like, why are you feeling dizzy all the time? Why are you getting these chest pains, pain in your lower legs and your lower extremities? Not saying this is the reason for your dizziness if you have dizziness, sis, but I'm just saying, in some cases, if this is the case, and you've got your blood work done, okay, 24-hour fast can help you to do this, or just abstain and denying yourself of certain things, okay? Doing a cleansing, like sister said in the beginning, all right? Doing a cleansing, reset, push the reset button, right? I don't want to get too medical on you, medical on y'all, but one thing that I learned, I don't know if I want to learn recently, but I know my sister on here, Sister Dana, she real good on these things, but 24-hour fast every week will defend your body from oxidative stress? What is oxidative stress, you ask?
Too much oxygen in your body. I just equate it to basically if you hyperventilate, if you're breathing too much, or if you're breathing enough, you're not allowing your body to actually go through the respiration and exhale. You're not allowing your body to do any of that.
That's a good way of looking at it too. So, but this oxidative stress is damage that occurs from certain types of free radicals in our bodies. Okay, now some of y'all might have heard of free radicals before, some of y'all haven't. But our body naturally, you have, Sister Deborah?
I've heard of it, but I was just muting.
Our bodies will produce free radicals on its own. Okay, because your body will produce some things that to balance itself. Okay, and so we do have natural free radicals in our bodies, but the free radicals I'm talking about is the ones that cause premature breakdown of certain proteins in your body, breakdown of cellular membranes. It alters your DNA. Okay. And it causes cellular aging. Where do you get these free radicals from? You walk out the door sometimes on your lunch break. What they doing out there?
Smoking.
Walking. Okay. All right. They're caused from the smoking, just pollution in the air, the things coming out of the just pollution in the air, radiation. Some of them are coming from the medication that we're taking, okay, inadvertently without, you got to take the medication, but it's doing these things to your body at the same time, causing all these bad free radicals to pile up in your body, all right? So again, which will lead to the breakdown of good proteins and your cells, okay? So you could help to help defend your body from that. If you would just do a 24-hour fast every week, you will give your cells a chance. Okay. Again, doctors will tell you first off, the answer for almost everything, not the answer, but one of the big consultation, regimens is change your diet. Put down some of the alcohol, right? Stop stressing, right? Okay, so fasting, okay, is for your body health wise. That's why we also fast, right? Health wise, to purge ourselves from these things. Y'all said it in the beginning. Cleanse yourself of these things, okay? Cleanse yourself. It's very important. Now, so if anybody's not fasting right now every week, I'm not a doctor or nothing like that, but it sounds like we need to be doing that. If it's going, just purge our body, just kickstart it. You know what I'm saying? Get rid and it's not like we have to go full blown. But start maybe minimizing. If you're a meat eater every day is more meat on your plate than veggies or fruits, that you don't really eat fruits during the week. You got to kind of look, your body is probably telling you something already. It's probably telling us something already. Yeah. And if not, it will be, because you can't keep doing the same thing. We can't keep putting oil in the car and never take out the oil and never take out the oil pan and change it. Sister,
that's true.
Sister Chaya, you got your hand raised?
It made me think of, so for the most part, it is an affliction of your soul, but it's interesting how, at least how it's written, it's saying soul versus spirit, because ultimately you're feeling this way because you're taking away what could be considered a pleasure, right? Not necessarily like to survive, right?
Right.
You're not going to drop dead from not eating after 24 hours, but you could if what you've been intaking 24 hours later, you're really feeling a lot of different effects of maybe not getting the proper nourishment, right? So when I think of the different instances where someone may have fasted or prayed in the Bible, it's almost like if you did do that fast and you're talking about all the medical benefits right now, it was a good thing because you're giving your body rest. You're giving your body a chance to kind of help digest, help do all the other stuff, right? And then also it's a good thing. So like, I forget where it is in the Bible, but when they were talking about if a woman is lying about something or just in general, prove that you're pregnant or prove something, drink this wormwood. I think even one of the prophets had a dream, hey, drink this. It's going to taste bitter at first, but it's going to be sweet afterwards. So that's kind of the two things that made me think of it. And I can't remember where I remember reading it, but I remember reading it going, oh yeah, this stuff is bitter, but depending on what we're doing, certain things that are bitter are good for you. Like you said, if we eat bitter herbs for certain other things or maintain that, we boost our immune system or we boost our bodies from getting certain illnesses or diseases for a longer period of time or at all.
You're right. All praises for all our wisdom, sis. I say she just be, dropping her mic, unmuting her mic and just muting it. But all praises for that, sis. Bitter herbs. That's so funny you said that because that's so true. Like a lot of the stuff we don't want to eat is what's going to help cleanse our body.
Yeah.
A lot of things our flesh wants and just desires and lust after, the things that are, having us going on a
killing us.
slippery one. But listen, if you don't like broccoli with butter on it, try it with barbecue sauce. Like just but put more on the plate than you do the meat, or maybe try eating, even my husband and I, we had got away from eating meat every day, and just we said, okay, we're gonna do it every other day. And then we was like, I don't know if it's because we had just like the way we felt or we were saving money or what, child, but we was like, okay, we're just gonna do it twice a week, so we just gonna do meat twice a week now. So we was eating meat, just like meatless for like what 4 days, meatless 4 days out of the week. And you just be surprised, like if you these are not just out here. Even your doctor will tell you, okay, they might want to go they might not want to go all holistic on you unless you go to a holistic doctor. But even your doctor will tell you change your diet, sis. Come on, you eat too much red meat. You drinking much alcohol. You got too much sugar on that cone. You got right.
Right. They have intermittent fasting. That's like a diet that you do daily, but they have different types. They have like where you go a certain amount of time of the day. That's also very beneficial, and it helps you lose weight as well.
Khan, that's a good one. The intermittent fasting. Khan, please look that up. What works for you? You have your where okay, let's say you don't eat anything after 7 p.m. at night. And you don't snack. That's denying yourself. You know how much strength and power you're showing that you have, that you probably never knew you had, that you could abstain from getting up and grabbing them chips late at night, that chocolate bar. I'm calling somebody out. All praises. But yes, and then don't eat anything again until 7. Some might have to eat something 7 a.m. in the morning because you just need that fuel to go. But it's what you're eating in the morning, that's going to fuel your body, right?
Yes.
It says your body could take up to 4 to 8 hours to digest a meal. And that's exactly why they will tell you don't eat, don't eat after like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. so that way you could give your body time to really get the stuff you just put in it. And we know meat takes a while to process, right?
Especially beef.
Especially beef, right? So yeah, that's a fast right there. That's why they call it break fast. You're breaking a fast, okay? And some of us could go longer than that. So if you didn't eat 7 p.m. last night, imagine if you waited all the way up until 11 o'clock-ish the next morning to eat something, you know?
Yes, it's like 16-4.
Right.
You can go 16 hours without eating. Part of it is like during your sleep hours, and then the next probably 8 hours is like when you're active. And when you break your fast, the best thing to do is like maybe green tea, start off with some tea in the morning. You know, you work your way slowly into your foods. And like light, you know?
Right. Slowly go back in, because then you're going to cause more problems. Right. Yeah. So, but you find that certain teas will help to get rid of that. Some people might have gas buildup because they didn't eat that long. You know, your body's not used to that, you know. Some people might just be able to go full into a nice, you know, smaller meal or something like that. But in any event, I'm glad you bring that up. Intermittent fasting, okay? Or just do your water throughout the night. Cleanse you know, it's also good for your skin. We did something on that.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So yes, this is why we fast, okay? For your soul and for your health. All right. To be closer to the Most High, to seek his guidance, for strengthening and protection for our babies, for our households, for Israel. Right? Okay. And for repentance. All right. That's going to be the last scripture that I bring out. For repentance.
Before you get to that, can I say something now that you mentioned seeking the Most High, to get closer to the Most High? One reason to fast, just piggybacking on what the other sister said, on fasting in a group. One scenario to fast in a group with another sister or brother who is not righteous is when they are seeking righteousness and want to cleanse themselves from their past and get to that strength where they can move on to righteousness, and need a community to fast with them to give them that strength to get through that time before they become baptized and seek righteousness from the Most High.
Right.
So that's a scenario that
but I think what this is
fast together.
Because not saying that you can't do it, but I think she was saying earlier was the fact that we just have to know that it's not for any carnal reasons. Like, you're not just jumping on the bandwagon just because, or, you know, you're not, you know, out there obviously worshiping other gods, and you're talking about you trying to join a fast with a group of people that's serving the Most High God. You know, it's stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Fine. But yes, because we do need to build up the ones that, you know, we do need to build up the young ones, and the young ones that is talking about are the ones that are not, you know, on step 5 yet. You know, you might be on step 1, but regardless, you want to be going up those steps, right? So it's all about, that's why we have to, what it says, know those that labor among you. Fine. But all praises for that. Anybody had any other tidbits, nuggets, precepts? I thought I was going to bring up one more, but I'm not. I am not. That was all that I had. All praise to the Most High for fasting, y'all. Thank you for another Chill Conversations. Sister Ileana, you had something?
No, I said hallelujah.
All praises to the Most High. Hallelujah. Oh, y'all are a breath of fresh air. Sister Tavana says the water. Oh, all praises to the Most High. I'm so glad you were able to make it on your break, and I think you extended it.
Yes, I'm about to go back now.
All praise
But
to the Most High.
I got that food. I got that spiritual food that gives me the
That's
fuel.
right. That's right. That's
All
right.
praises.
You clocking in while you clocked in, but all praises to the Most High, y'all. Until then, until next time, same beauty. Shalom.
Shalom, guys.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.